Hello everybody, welcome back, or welcome if you're new. Today we will be doing the third and final part of this Time magazine, all about 1968. If you haven't watched the first two parts, you can go back and watch them if you'd like. Before we jump right in, I would just like to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed. I know I've said this in every video, but I have a few more subscribers since my last video. So thank you to those of you who have subscribed to me. Anyway, let's just jump right on into it. Last time we ended with politics, I believe. Yes. So let's jump right on into it. Who has the vision to lead? That has always been the fundamental question of U.S. politics. But in 1968, enduring American optimism about the future collided with brutal reality. The political system was shaken to its foundations. The old political leadership was almost literally besieged. A new vanguard, arguing for a dramatic reordering of national priorities, emerged almost against its will, born of immense popular frustration. Then shots rang out in a hotel pantry. The U.S., a bitter and lacerated democracy of 200 million, was forced to choose its vision from a field narrowed by a demented electorate of one. Again, a Kennedy lay murdered, and the nation's future was immutably changed. Robert Francis Kennedy, 42, slight, tousled-haired, fatalistic, intense, was a messiah to some, an opportunist to others. He announced his candidacy for the White House 4 days after another improbable visionary, Senator Eugene McCarthy of Minnesota, had almost beaten Lyndon Johnson in New Hampshire's Democratic primary. McCarthy's anti-political, anti-war campaign had galvanized American youth, beards shaved and locks shorn. They rushed by the thousands to become clean for Gene, workers in his crusade. The New York Senator's decision to enter the race split the peace movement. It also brought back to American politics an almost mystical icon of concern for the poor, the disenfranchised, and the disaffected. I think we can end the divisions within the United States. The violence Kennedy declared from the rostrum at Los Angeles Ambassador Hotel after winning the June 4, the California primary. Moments later, he was dead. Kennedy's funeral left the nation numb, but not for long. Once again, confrontation took over. Kennedy's death widened the cleavage between those who still saw redemption from the country's agonies within conventional politics and those who wanted to knock the system down. The two sides slouched toward each other at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. Few fiction writers would have dared to imagine such a debacle. Outside the convention hall, the massed outrage of the counterculture, anti-war activists, Viet Cong supporters, yippies, who brought along their own presidential candidate, a porker named Pegasus. Within, the political machine that rumbled forward to confirm Hubert Horatio Humphrey as its nominee. Between the two sides, heavily armed National Guardsmen and the burly, blue-shirted Chicago police, the armed forces of Mayor Richard C. Daley, its clubbing and gassing of demonstrators brought a new term into the American lexicon, police riot. When the beating and rug-throwing stopped, the Democratic Party lay in ruins. In armed middle America turned its attention to Miami, where the Republican he won handily in Indiana, and a week later in Nebraska. The campaign trail, triumph and tragedy. The sweet taste of victory. A jubilant Kennedy at the Ambassador Hotel after winning the California and South Dakota primaries on June 4th. In South Dakota, he had beaten a Hubert Humphrey slate 50% to 30%. In California, he had bested Eugene McCarthy by only 4 percentage points, but Bobby's backers hailed it as a turning point. The dual win gave Kennedy 198 delegate votes. The evening's plans included a meeting with campaign workers, a chat with reporters, a celebration at a night spot. Fallen hero. A busboy tries to comfort Kennedy as he lies in a pool of blood. His bodyguard wanted to avoid the dark kitchen passageway. RFK said, "It's all right." The shot sounded like dry wood snapping, according to a Kennedy aide. It took 23 minutes for an ambulance to collect the wounded man. He was taken to the Hospital of the Good Samaritan, where he died on June 6th after a 3-hour, 40-minute brain operation. Saran, 24, was seized at the scene. He was carrying a $30.95 revolver, despite a nationwide outcry for the easy availability of firearms in the U.S., and despite subsequent assassination attempts against President Gerald Ford, and Ronald Reagan. The U.S. 2 decades later still has few restrictions on the sale of handguns. The killer and the bereaved. Image of a murderer. Saran at his arraignment, a Jordanian immigrant living in the U.S. with his mother and his brothers. The young man had apparently been outraged by the New York senator's support for Israel, and a notebook found at his home. He had written, "Kennedy must be assassinated before June 5th, 1968, the first anniversary of the Arab defeat by Israelis in the Six-Day War." The final farewell. Edward Kennedy comforts Ethel and her children at Arlington National Cemetery. Hundreds of thousands of people had gathered along the railroad line from New York to Washington to salute the passage of his funeral train. Chicago, the whole world is watching. Ho, 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 Jimin. Youths brandishing Viet Cong flags swarm over the statue of Civil War General 6,000 had been mobilized, along with about the same number of U.S. Army troops. FBI agents and Army intelligence units were also surveying the demonstrators. Army sources estimated that as many as 1 of every 6 protesters was an undercover agent. Rifles at the ready, the guard moves in. A whiff of tear gas. Rocks and obscenities flew. Guardsmen were ordered to remove the bayonets from their rifles and make sure the weapons were not loaded. Despite an unceasing barrage of taunts, the guardsmen, unlike the Chicago police, did not break ranks. Hubert Humphrey could smell the tear gas from his suite in the Conrad Hilton Motel. Subduing the enemy, a protester is dragged away by police. Of the 668 people arrested during the week-long disturbances, 75.8% were 25 years of age or under. After the convention ended, Democratic nominee Humphrey defended Daley, declaring that the city of Chicago and the people of Chicago didn't do a thing that was wrong. Man of the people, Mayor Richard Daley at the convention. Press and spectator galleries were packed with his supporters, many of them patronage workers, who waved banners reading, years of having all these old fools who are governing us and who are bombing us and doing all that because, it's always them. I don't expect to see the world in a perfect state of bliss, like 100%. But it doesn't matter. It's on the way now. So the young were seeing visions as the old stumbled into dreamland. To induce transcendence, the children of 1968 borrowed buzzwords from the East: karma, Rama, Krishna, and the sound of one hand clapping. Other equally euphonic names would awaken the third eye: marijuana, lysergic acid, dithalamide, or LSD. The deep psychedelic experience is a death rebirth flip, said Timothy Leary, the great snake oil salesman of LSD. There is no death. There is just off, on, in, out, start, stop, light, dark, flash, delay. Jailed in San Luis Obispo, California, on a marijuana charge, Leary escaped with the help of the weatherman. The radical political group praised Leary, saying, LSD and grass will help us make a future world where it will be possible to live in peace. Indeed, the title for the Whole Earth Catalog, the how-to manual first published in 1968 for this imminent garden of earthly delights, came to its editor with the help of 100 micrograms of LSD. While man was gaining on the angels, women was still marking time. Late in the year, at a conference on women's liberation, Kate Millett gave a landmark speech on sexual politics that was the germ of her seminal 1970 book. However, exponents of such views were widely derided as bra burners. Even in the anti-war and civil rights movements, women were regulated to subordinate roles. Black Panther leader Stokely Carmichael went as far as to say that the only position for women in the movement is prone. Some things refuse to change. The paradise envisioned in 1968 was not for everyone who would not last, refusing to be found. The journey toward utopia would end up like all others before it, a bad trip. Letting it all hang out, a woman in San Francisco revels in the spirit of the counterculture, which, since it censor this page, as you can see. If you know this picture, then you know. And she was the only one I could see that was really showing anything. Personally, I don't mind. It didn't offend me in any way, shape, or form. But, you know, I didn't want this video to get flagged or anything, so. Anyway, the dawning of a new age, welcoming the spring in Golden Gate Park among 2,000 hippies from San Francisco's High-Ashbury district, with these sun worshippers basking the first light of the season. Souls bared, clothes shed, living free, taken from behind. That should give you a hint as to why I've covered them. The back cover of John Lennon and Yoko Ono's guttural Two Virgins album. A corresponding view on the front of the jacket led to two virgins sail in brown paper wrappers. We started the album at midnight, said Lennon, and finished it at dawn. Then we made love. It was very beautiful. Upon seeing the jacket, one critic said, "Such a big fuss over such a small thing." Again, I had to censor her too a bit. Again, I just didn't want this to get taken down, so. Braving the slings and arrows of outrageous fashion, nothing to hide. A strategic ruffle of ostrich feathers emphasizes the skin visible beneath the thin layers of Saint Laurent's chiffon gown, which reflected the openness of the age, recalled Vogue's Diana Freeland when our new styles arrived in the provinces. The deluge came with letters reading, "When are you going to publish the clothes for real women?" Return to childhood. In miniskirts, women looked like 10-year-old girls. The peace symbol on this design was introduced in 1958 by the philosopher Bertrand Russell during an anti-nuclear rally. The miniskirt had little to do with what women wanted, said one ex-wearer. "It's pretty clear that I dressed up for approval from men. There was nothing easy about it. An entire way of life was unique to the miniskirt," said another user. "For instance, you never bent over to pick up something off the ground." Feminist support. At the Miss American pageant in Atlantic City, the Women's Liberation Front dumped bras, false eyelashes, curlers, and girdles into a Freedom trash can. Members carried placards that asked, "Can makeup cover up the wounds of our oppression?" Though derided as bra burners, the women actually set nothing afire. Opening kaleidoscope eyes with marijuana and LSD. Sharing a joint. Together with rock music, the dried flowers and leaves of cannabis sativa, crushed and rolled in cigarette paper, were a ubiquitous part of the new some area high school counselors estimated that 75% of their students had used drugs. Elsewhere, Timothy Leary preached the psychedelic choice of LSD, which many saw hidden in the initials of the Beatles' hit Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Getting on the highway to paradise. Rhinoceros beetle, tracing its beginnings to the Volksauto people's car, demanded by Adolf Hitler, the Volkswagen van took its place beside the outlandish but popular Beetle. Both vehicles attracted younger buyers who wanted to break away from Detroit's established models. Still in 1968, everyone enjoyed the freedom of the road. The national 55 miles per hour speed limit was not set until 1974. Automobility for all. Cars, said Roland Barthes in Mythologies, are the modern age's Gothic cathedrals, conceived with passion by unknown artists, consumed in image if not in usage by a whole population, which appropriates them as a purely magical object. The auto was indispensable to everyone, including the psychedelic Tensians of High-Ashbury, who turned this one into a work of art. Even Janis Joplin sang, "Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz? My friends all drive Porsches. I must make amends." Last of the dinosaurs. By 1968, the first subcompacts were arriving, and the gas-guzzling giants that roamed the roads, like Ford's 1969 LTD two-door hardtop, would eventually become endangered species. In 1973, the Arab embargo would lead to the constricting oil crisis. "Baby, you can drive my car" would become "let's take an old-fashioned walk." Rushing from the real world into the playing field. Everybody's all everything. Raised among San Francisco street gangs, Orenthal James Simpson, OJ to everyone, rose to become the meteoric running back of the University of Southern California in the winner of the 1968 Heisman Trophy. In 1969, he was drafted by the Buffalo Bills. Year of the pitcher. With his 31-6 record, right-hander Denny McLain of the Detroit Tigers dominated the field in a season when only 6 batters hit over .300. The cocky McLain, who won both the Most Valuable Player and the Cy Young Awards in 1968, fizzled when the Tigers met the St. Louis Cardinals in the World Series. Detroit had to squeeze out a 7th-game championship with help from a left-hander, Mickey Lolick, who had been overshadowed by McLain during the regular season. In the 1980s, McLain would be in and out of court and jail on racketeering and drug charges. Olympic discord. After winning the gold and bronze medals for the 200-meter dash at the Mexico City Games, Tommy Smith and John Carlos raised their fists in a Black Power salute during the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner. "White people," said Carlos, "think we're some sort of show horse. They think we can perform, and they will throw us some peanuts and say, 'Good boy, good boy.'" The U.S. Olympic Committee suspended the sprinters and expelled them from the Olympic Village. Trouble had already preceded the Games. 10 days before the Olympic flame was lighted, dozens were killed in an attack by tanks and shock troops that broke up a peaceful anti-government march in the city's Tlatelolco district. The search for happy ever afterings. Farewell to Camelot. To most Americans, Jacqueline Kennedy's marriage to Aristotle Onassis symbolized her goodbye to an era and a hero. "She's gone from Prince Charming to Caliban," said a former aide of John F. Kennedy's. The union, which was also opposed by Aries' children, Christina and Alexander, soon grew into estrangement and ended with Onassis' death in 1975. kin to those Europeans 5 centuries ago who first heard news of the New World, Lyndon Johnson told the astronauts by telephone aboard the carrier Yorktown, "You've seen what man has never seen before. One of those things which was to grow in significance in forthcoming decades was the Earth's finitude. With Apollo 8, humanity had found a godlike perch from which to examine its collective limits. The immediate aftermath of Apollo 8 was a land rush of follow-up flights," said Thomas Paine, acting administrator of NASA in 1968. "We are at the onset